While traveling, it's usually best to pack light. When it comes to money, carrying some cash and having an alternative like Zelle is a great idea. Zelle's an easy way to send and receive money with people you trust. At any U.S. bank, it's already in thousands of different banking apps, and it's money straight into your bank account in minutes fast. Look for Zelle in your banking app today. Safe travels.
The following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in a thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
British, I'm your wanna be. Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star.
Hello. Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. Before we get started and talking to people in the chat room, let's say hi to our cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hey, everybody. Yes, I'm wearing a shirt that I wore in the year 2000. It has all New Year's Eve all over it, and I wear it every New Year's. Sort of kind of like paying tribute to when the 2000s came in. Hope everybody
That was
had
the year, too, though, that the world was supposed to fall apart.
Yeah, well, it did. We just didn't die. I hope everybody had a good Christmas. I had a great Christmas. I wanted a Tesla, and I got a steering wheel cover. But that's okay, you know. Jimmy said the car will come next year, but here's the steering wheel cover. But I'm going to put that steering wheel cover on my Audi TT Roadster because my Roadster is marigold yellow, and the wheel cover is black pieces with sort of a marigold yellow in it. It'll look very well on baby, my little Audi
TT Roadster. What's up, everybody in the chat room? Hello, we've got Cindy Lady Lake in the chat room. Teresa Sabin's in Florida, so is Cindy Lady Lake. We have Backpack John is in the chat room. I don't know who else is in there because
Florida's having wonderful weather. We're having horrible weather. It's so cold here. I really could have stayed in New York. I didn't have to move to California. The weather in Palm Springs is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. Climate is changing, whether it be climate change or nature, whatever it is, it definitely is changing. I remember 30, 40, 50 years ago in California, we wore white in the winter and we swam. It was beautiful. Now, forget it. I'm wearing a feathered Parker, one of those big balloon jackets
like
to go out.
A ski jacket.
A ski jacket because it's so cold here. Imagine.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Like yesterday it was like 50 something, but it doesn't sound that cold, but with the wind and everything, it was cold.
And it's very damp. When it's damp, it goes through you. So much for the weather report. So who's on today? Anybody interesting?
Hang on. We gotta fix your buttons.
My buttons again?
Yeah.
What's wrong with my buttons?
Your belly's showing.
Well, I'm sorry. I have a belly. If it shows, it's not my dick showing. That would be something to talk about. But my belly, who cares?
That's hilarious.
It's a silk shirt, so it's very slippery, and the buttons tend to open.
Yes. So we have a fun show for you guys today. We got 3 guests coming on. First up is going to be Emmy winner Jeff Caperton, who's going to be coming on. He's a actor, producer, and something else. Stuntman. So it'll be fun. And then we have Chuck Armstrong from Wonderama coming on to talk about his New Year's Eve event in Times Square. And then we have something that we've never done before. We're bringing on a journalist. His name's Markos Papadatos, I think. He writes for Digital Journal.
Yeah.
He writes for Digital Journal, and it's very cool. And lots of people are joining us now. Let's say hi to Dave. Dave likes your shirt. Dave Hughes has just joined us.
Hey, Dave. Wouldn't this shirt be nice on Sadie if she didn't have a bra underneath and the silk made the buttons open and her boobs showed? Maybe I'll have Sadie wear this on one of our shows.
That's funny.
Right, Dave Hughes? Did you watch our show last week when Sadie sent you that big, wet, juicy tongue kiss?
Yeah, everybody, thanks for tuning into our
No, but I want to hear what Dave said. Did you faint? Remember Sadie brought her lips close to the camera. She wet them, and she gave you a big soul kiss.
That's funny. He says, ah, ha, 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 ha,
Ha 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 ha! You probably fainted, you old bastard.
ha. So we hope everybody's ready for New Year's and is going to have a safe New Year's. Ready to bring in 2022 because 2021 was like half good and half bad. He says he fell off his chair.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, B. Claudia just joined us too. Hey, B.
Hey, B. How are you, honey?
But yeah, he said and Teresa says he's still recovering.
Yeah, well, Sadie's quite a gal. She's got a big fan base. There's so many guys in love with her. They all think she's the sexiest thing in the world. And she doesn't have fake boobs. You know what I mean? She's got nice little handful boobs. Women today think that they have to have these gigantic water balloons. And I want to tell you something. My ex-wife had water balloons, and they don't feel real. They felt like a balloon with water in them. A real boob feels different. The fake boobs, some of the women have hard boobs because the skin grew around the bag and it caused a hard outer shell. So when you go to grab them, it's like grabbing a statue in Italy, marble statue with boobs.
They all say Sadie's gorgeous.
Sadie is beautiful and talented, a great actress, and we love her.
And we finished wrapping The Beast Inside, everybody. So we should look to have some kind of a trailer by the end of January, I think. We'll have a trailer for it.
It was fun. It was cold on the set. It was really cold and raining, so that didn't make it interesting, but the people were sweet and nice, and we had a good time in spite of it all.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So it'll all be fun. So what's your New Year's resolution? You have one?
Well, I wrote on Facebook about the people in Palm Springs who are not friends with us anymore because a few drunken, ugly old queens went around saying that Jimmy and I are Republicans and that we support Trump. And I've written a lot of stuff on my page that never applied to them, but I guess if the shoe fits, wear it, and they did, and they thought I was writing about them. People today have such egos that no matter what you print, they think it's about them, that they're the only people in your life, in your world, and it's not true. Jimmy and I have hundreds of friends. And when I write, I don't write about any of our friends. I write in general. And if that dog doesn't stop barking, Astro, shut up. Oh, I'm not in the mood today. We had shots. We got our what do they call booster shots yesterday. Jimmy's very sick today. He's being nice, but Jimmy's bones hurt. He's got a fever. He doesn't feel well from the shot. I feel great. I just feel a little what's the word? Agitative? Is that just the word?
Agitated.
Yeah, agitative. I feel like I could attack our next guest very easily. So I have to behave because, putting chemicals into your body does change your mental state because whatever flows through your blood system goes through your brain. Blood goes through your brain, as you know, and chemicals can sometimes distort things. I have this.
So we got the booster.
I got to talk this out. This is important. I had a broken sprain, whatever the hell, wrist that I'm getting over. And we went to a doctor, and the doctor said it's a nerve problem. You ripped nerves or whatever. And he gave me a prescription. Well, I read the prescription, and it said, can cause suicide, depression, anger. I mean, it went on and on and on and on and on with all these horrible negative things. So, of course, I threw the chemicals into the garbage. I rather have the pain. But people that are on painkillers, such as the one your father was on, what was that?
Hydrocodone.
No,
oxycodone.
Oxycodone will be suicidal. Jimmy's dad tried to kill himself twice. We saved his life once. And yeah, so those drugs, if you take them, they can change your mental thinking. And you really get so depressed. And for some reason, you want to kill yourself, but you don't know why. So please be very careful out there, folks. Read your prescriptions and read the side effects. And if you don't want those side effects, just suffer it out. There are no pills that cure anything. So if you think by taking a pill you're curing cancer or heart condition, you're wrong. All pills do is put a Band-Aid on what the problem is. But the side effects can be far worse.
Dave says he got the booster in England and it made him feel like his body got run over by a truck and somebody stuck forks in his eyes.
Well, that's good. That was a nice feeling. Did you enjoy it?
So yeah, I have that same thing going, like nausea, temperature,
and I feel
dehydrated.
I feel great.
Dehydrated.
Nothing.
My arm is like all red now. It's like getting red.
It's amazing. I guess the Pfizer drug works with my body system, but I have no pain, nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's as if I never had the shot. And Jimmy had
And I'm
it
all
only
dizzy.
Jimmy had it only 3 hours before I did. But anyway, again, I want to repeat: be careful of your prescriptions. Don't think because they're good prescriptions that the doctor gives you that they're not what the dope addicts use. You know, dope addicts will pay a fortune for oxycodone to get high, and it's very addictive and it does cause damage. So really, really think about putting chemicals in your body. I've been warned by so many people saying, "Oh, Ron, don't get the booster shot. It's going to do this. It's going to do that."
Yeah, and
Um,
you're fine.
yeah, I'm fine with it, but we don't know what it's going to be like 4 or 5 years from now, if in any way it has hindered or changed our immune system or whatever. So it's really not been tested yet long enough to know the side effects. And I'm sure if they told me the side effects, I probably would not have gotten the shot. But since we don't have side effect information, I said, "Oh, screw it." You know, we're going to a very big New Year's Eve party, and we're going to be exposed to a lot of people. And I really didn't want to take a chance. So we got the shot. And I suggest everyone get the shot also. You know, what are you going to do? You have a choice, the shot or no shot and death. So if the shot's going to kill you a few years from now, at least you got a few years more. But yeah, well, that's common sense. But the people who didn't get the shot, my age, you know, they just don't make it. They pass away. Anyway, that's all New Year's vomit that we're getting rid of now.
This
Old
year
new
for a
shit.
new one.
The new year's going to be spectacular, wonderful, with all kinds of new thinking. Jimmy and I are thinking of moving back home, my home, to New York. We're thinking of going back to Long Island, where I lived many years, and I have so many old friends there. And only because Atlanta and Tennessee and where else is filming, it's becoming the new Hollywood. So we're going to have a lot of work there because Jimmy's got a lot of movies that are going to be coming out of Atlanta. We only have one, I think, we're shooting in Nevada, and one that we're shooting in New York. I'm in, so I could say we, but the rest of the work is Atlanta. And
Dave says go to New York and he'll come visit.
good, because being on Long Island, it's very easy to get to Atlanta. It's a quick flight, but from California, it's quite an ordeal. And then we will come out to LA when we want to work, and I'll come out to visit friends. Sue Wong has been wonderful. She said that she has 4 guest houses and that we are so welcome to stay at one of her guest houses when we come. So all good stuff coming up in the new year, folks. You got to think positive, get rid of all that negativity now, vomit, all of it, dump it out. All the shit that you had from last year. Who said this one said this one did this to me, that happened, oh, bad luck, I broke an arm. Get rid of it. It's all negative.
I agree. And Miss Kim just joined us in the chat room. Hey, Artist Miss Kim, I hope you had a great Christmas. And actually, I hope everybody had a great Christmas and everybody's going to have a great New Year. I'm actually looking forward to being done with this year. So I'm looking forward to 2022.
1 year is the same as another year. You know, man made the time zones. So it's your life. If you dwell on negativity, if you always feel sorry for yourself, if you have a low opinion of yourself, you're just going to be miserable every fucking year. It doesn't mean New Year you're going to change. You change. The year doesn't change. You change. Think positive about yourself. You're a unique person. There's only one of you. No one has duplicated you. On the entire planet, you are the only person that looks, talks, and feels like you do. So love yourself. And in doing so, you'll love others, because if you don't love yourself, you're never going to love anyone else. I mean, these are my feelings anyway. I'm not a doctor, shrink, but anyway, I just common sense shit. Get rid of negative people. Get rid of people who say to you, you can't. Like, you know, I said to a friend of mine, gee, we're thinking of moving to the Hamptons because I really love the Hamptons on Long Island. And she said, Jesus Christ, Ron, in 2 years, you're going to be 84 years old. You're going to pack and move at that age and start a new home at 84. I said, well, what should I do? Kill myself because I'm going to be 84? Of course. I don't live any differently now than I did when I was 25. I mean,
actually, you love moving.
No, I don't love moving, but my father taught me if you step in shit and you don't like the smell, step away. And that's what I'm doing. California's changed. It's no longer the ideal place to live. We have an enormous exodus of people leaving California. It is outrageously expensive. And gasoline, I mean, my car now, I'm almost paying $6 a gallon. Get out of here. What the hell is going on, Biden, or whoever started this crap? Biden, I think, with cutting back on the gasoline manufacturing. I was paying like $2.49 a gallon because my car is an Audi TT Roadster that takes the good stuff, the expensive gas. Now it's going to go up to
My gas is $5 though.
well, mine is more than yours because I take the high test. But now they said it's going to go up to $10 by the summer. How can I afford? And my car is a gas burner. It's a sport car. Everything is so expensive here. Car registration, taxes, food. Food has tripled. What used to be $2.50 now is $5. Then it went to $6. I mean, you got to see the prices in the supermarkets here. You drop dead.
You can't buy anything under $5 anymore.
Five is cheap. It's now $6 and $7. A can of Polioticota that I got in New York for $2.49 here is $7. Everything in California is outrageously expensive. Not only the real estate, the rents. You can't rent anything here for less than $2,500, and it's not anything to talk about. So California is really becoming an impossibility for many, many people. And the crime has really gotten bad here. Palm Springs, we never had any crime at all. A water main would break, and that would be a headline news. Now we have rape, murder all the time. Somebody shooting somebody, or gang shooting. Terrible. Change.
Actually, too, artist Miss Kim said even the dollar store went up, which is right because now our dollar store everything's $1.25 and went up a quarter.
Well, they cannot call it a dollar store anymore.
Yeah, it's the dollar store. Everything's $1.25.
Well, they got to say now it's $1.25 store because that's misinformation. Anyway, that's all negative stuff that I've just talked about, and I got rid of it. See, that's what you have to do. You have to talk to somebody and get all that negativity out of you, all of the anger and the disappointments, get rid of it, and then say to yourself, now I'm going to think positive. Because remember one thing, from everything bad comes something good.
There you go. We want to welcome to Rachel. Oh, that's Rachel. Rachel's Roxy, I think. That's Roxy. So Roxy joined us, and Mona joined us, and Paige joined us.
Which Roxy? We have a couple of Roxys.
No, Roxy, our engineer.
Oh, okay. Because I know a Roxy also.
That's funny. Oh, wow. So B. Claudia said that in Switzerland, 10 eggs is $7.50.
I mean, come on. What's going on with the world? What is going on? I mean, soon we're going to have people starving in the streets because they can't afford it.
It's unbelievable. Anyway, let's go on to a funner thing.
Well, this is New Year's before, and we're able to talk about negative because we want to discuss it to get rid of it. We don't want to carry it into the next year. So just think of it as like garbage and you're throwing it away. I do. I mean, people that are fake people that have come to your home and they've enjoyed your food and danced and now they don't like you anymore. Screw them. They're the losers. You're the good person. You know what I mean? Always think positive. God, if I could only get out there and make every one of you think positively, your lives will be so much better. I only think positive. That's why I'm alive and I look good and I feel good and I'm doing good things because I don't let anything that puts me down or a downer. Downers I hate, and I don't like downer people. If I'm in a room of people and some jerk is carrying on and making everybody feel down, I walk away. I won't allow it. I won't let my mind hear that shit.
I love it.
Again, I repeat, cleanse, clean, dump. A new year is coming. A new you.
That's right. So hope everybody in the chat room is doing well. We also want to say hi to all the other people out there. I'm pretty sure Stefan is listening. So what's up, Stefan and Tina?
And Tina, my lovely Tina. You know, I don't care about seeing Stefan, but I really want to see you, Tina, because I think you're the best. And Stefan really should kiss the ground you walk on.
Yeah.
No, really, Stefan, you've got to idolize and worship your girl. She's the best and so pretty.
Teresa says she's not letting any of the negative stuff in her space, which is good.
No, negative. Ugh. Negative is like cancer. Vampire is awful, dirty, horrible.
Vampires.
Negative is nasty. Positive is beautiful. It's a flower. It's sunshine. That's how I look at positive. Positive to me is everything wonderful. See, I do have a serious side, folks. I'm not always silly and crazy. But I'm a bore now, and I don't want to be a bore because our show is about fun. You know, I don't want to preach, but
okay.
I just feel that I don't know what I feel. Maybe that shit they put in me, that crap, made me a little weird today.
You never know.
You never know, because it definitely was. What did they put in us? The virus dead? I mean, we don't even know what they put in us. How do you like that? I went to the Eisenhower Hospital and I let this very nice man shoot this crap in my arm, and I have no idea what it even is. I never thought to ask exactly what is it. Is it the virus killed, dead, or is it a chemical? Does anybody out there know what we've put into our bodies?
The guy who put it into me said that you don't even know if it's gonna be like that. You're not gonna need another one in a couple of months.
That's wonderful. Keep shooting us up with this crap until we all turn into tin cans. Oh well. Oh, God bless us all. We need it.
I think that's fun. Oh, B. Claudia says we love Jimmy and Ron forever. Yay, thank you.
Well, we love you too, and I'm sorry that my cousins in Italy. They paid. My one bought an apartment, and
oh wait, we have a guest. We're gonna
wait.
bring him in
Anyway,
now.
what she paid for that apartment almost dropped dead. Italy is as expensive as America if you're buying real estate.
Go ahead, bring him in, Roxy. Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Hey, Jimmy and Ron, how are you guys doing? Man, I'm so sorry I'm late.
That's okay. Your plane was 2 hours late. You texted me.
It was 2 hours late, and that door opened up, and I OJ'd it through the airport and jumped in the car, ran a few red lights, and literally, I'm still breathing hard because I couldn't even get to the building where I'm in. I had to park down the street and run. So I made it.
Where are you now? Where are you?
I'm at my office in Houston, Texas.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
You didn't have to do all that. We would have held it.
So now we want to do a good intro for you before we get started. So now, everybody, we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor, producer, stuntman, and Emmy winner Jeff Caperton. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's going to be fun. So
I'm glad you were late because you didn't have to hear my long monologue about negativity and dumping all the shit that was last year when the new year. I went on and on like some old man. Old people love to go on and on and on. We like to tell the world what to do. So anyway, Houston, Texas, what's it like? Hot, cold, or what?
Houston, Texas, right now it's probably the late high 70s. It's warm
Nice.
for December. Even for us, it's warm.
We're freezing our asses off in Palm Springs.
Are you really?
Oh, it's cold as hell here.
yeah, yesterday it was 54 and windy.
Yeah.
It was freezing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
New York, Long Island last week, Long Island was 5 degrees warmer than Palm Springs. And I said to Jimmy, why did I move out of New York to come to this
Yeah.
friggin' desert?
So let me
Wait, you like Texas?
Yeah, I love Texas. I was born here, and I moved to LA when I was 19 for a job, and stayed out there a few years, and then came back, and then went back again in 2000, and just kind of back and forth. But Houston's home, and now with the way things are, I can live here and work here and still be anywhere I need to be to do the work I'm doing.
I had a girlfriend when I was very young. Her name was Helen Samaras. She was Greek American. And when I went to Italy on a ship in those days, she was a passenger. And I was 17 and we fell in love. It was so sweet. And she was from Houston, Texas.
Oh.
And she referred to New York. I forgot how she referred to it, but I got very upset. A concrete jungle.
Right.
That's what she said. You guys think New York is a concrete jungle?
I tell you what, Houston's a pretty big town. We're the fourth largest city in the country. Our downtown, you can be in. It certainly doesn't compare to Manhattan, but it can be a lot of concrete as well. So
I've been to Houston years ago.
Is that where the Alamo is?
That's San Antonio.
Oh, that's San Antonio. Okay.
San Antone. No, but I've driven through there when I used to drive cross country from New York to California, and Houston then was becoming skyscrapery, and this is like 20 years ago or more.
It is. We have a beautiful downtown skyline. In fact, it's about the only scenery here. It's so flat, but it's our downtown skyline is beautiful. And
at night, the skyline with the lights of the buildings is quite beautiful.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it's a beautiful town, and Texas people are nice. I like Texas people. They don't bullshit like the rest. Like California, everybody's full of shit. They all bullshit you. Texas people, they tell it like it is. They don't care. They're like New Yorkers.
Good. That's what we try to do. Yeah.
So what kind of, I don't know who you are or what you've done. So you're going to have to, well, I'm being honest. You have to, I mean, you're not Brad Pitt, but tell me who you are and what you've done. Maybe I do know who you are.
I do.
Well, Jimmy, what you got?
All right, so here we go, you guys. So this is some information about Jeff Caperton, which I've actually known for like a long time.
Yeah, a little bit.
So you guys, first of all, you began.
Well, first of all, he's got a beard, and I'm sure years ago or whenever he worked, he didn't have a beard. So the beard, I don't recognize him. Maybe if he took the beard off, I'd know who he is. But now you look like every other guy with a beard. You all look alike.
Yeah, he thinks I look that way too.
You
with the beard.
everyone, you look like. Remember the Smith brothers cough drops years ago? Well,
Yeah,
you all look like the Smiths brothers.
So hang on, I'm going to brag for him a little. All right, you guys. So he began his career in 1984 working for ABC News Los Angeles, covering and producing stories for World News Tonight, Nightline 2020, and
Well,
Good Morning America.
I should know who you are.
Then,
No, I'm serious. Lara Spencer grew up in my house. She's our dearest friend, my daughter's best buddy. And I was living in LA all those years, and I watched the news.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely have to know who you are.
Yeah.
So
well,
hold
I worked on camera. I was a producer and worked in the newsroom, did
Okay.
futures and breaking news. So that was a
Okay.
long time ago.
then you guys, he had a recurring role on NCIS New Orleans for two seasons. He was in Deepwater Horizon with Mark Wahlberg, Kurt Russell, Ethan Suplee, who was on our show not too long ago.
Mhm.
Dylan O'Brien, Kate Hudson, John Malkovich. He's in Poker Run with
That's right.
John Snyder's film that we had the guy on from that the other day. So he's in Poker Run, you
Right.
guys, which is
Yeah.
everybody should get it. You can go to johnsnyderstudios.com or cineflixdod.com to rent it. It's great. He executive produces all kinds of cool movies. Two of his big ones were I never saw Piranha Sharks, but I love those dumb movies. So I think that's something I'd probably like because I like those dumb horror movies. But he also did Dog Eat Dog with Nicolas Cage and William Dafoe, you guys, which is like a really big one.
Wow.
He had little roles in Daddy's Home, When the Bow Breaks with Morris Chestnut, who I actually know, Romany Malco, Glenn Morshower, who I love.
I love Glenn Morshower. Yeah.
He did another movie, Elvis and Nixon, with Michael Shannon, Kevin Spacey, Alex Pettifer, Johnny Knoxville, Colin Hanks, Evan Peters, and Tate Donovan. And he's been in Queen of the South, the Scream TV series, Who's the Boss, Remington Steele, Moonlighting, Zoo. So
Wow, you
he's a
got
fucking
nice
worker.
Yeah, you got a nice. You made a couple of bucks, a little bit, not much.
Well, I tinkered around the older shows. That was just a lot of background work I did when I was out in California doing the news. But I got to be on a couple of classic sitcoms and things back in the day. You know, Silver Spoons and Who's the Boss and that Mr. Belvedere and that kind of thing. So had a little fun doing that on my days off out there.
I bet
And you guys, if you follow his Instagram, it's at Jeff Caperton. He shows you like some of his stunt shit. Like he had one that he did the other day, and he had this thing where like the thing pulls him back. It was cool as shit. So follow
that's
him.
very dangerous.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that thing where they pull the rubber band and you fly.
Well, this was a piston. It's a giant hydraulic piston.
Yeah, I know. I call it the rubber band.
Yeah, you
But,
connect
yeah.
it to a cable and it just jerks you right off your feet.
Definitely, you could snap your spine. You're crazy.
So-
I hope they paid you dearly for doing that because that's a
Well,
very
they pay me. I don't know about dearly, but
No, but they should pay you. Don't take shit for that. That's a very dangerous stunt. I know of people. Anyway, meanwhile, what do you look like without the beard? I bet you're handsome.
Well, I don't know. Do I have a picture back here?
Yeah, what do you look like without that shit on your face?
I'm not sure. That's the Emmys back in 2012.
You think we're going to see
Oh
that?
yeah, I can see that though.
I don't know if y'all
Okay.
can see that or not, but there's me without the beard. So
There we go.
Get rid of the beard.
No, keep
Oh,
the
yeah.
beard.
No, everybody's
my
got
wife says. My wife hates it.
everybody and them. Listen, I have a theory. I don't have a beard. You know why? I'm handsome.
Well, you are
ugly-
handsome.
Yes, I'm very handsome. I like myself today.
Now you recently grew a beard for a part, though, right?
I was starting to, and then I said, nah.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. I started to look like I escaped from a nursing home. You know, when you're my age, a beard is an old man who's neglected his grooming. I just feel that if you're handsome, don't disguise it with the beard. Take it off and show your beautiful young face, because one day you're going to be my age and then grow a beard to cover your face.
So Jeff, first of all, how did
Wait,
you?
are you married?
Yes, I am.
Oh, see, I was going to fix you up with my daughter. I'm trying to get rid of my
Oh,
two
well.
daughters. Oh, I got two daughters. I got to get them married.
Oh, there you go. Now I'm going on 15 years this summer, or the summer 2020.
Congratulations.
How many kids?
3 kids, all grown, have 3 grandkids.
Your
Oh
ki-
my
wait,
God,
wait,
good
wait,
for
hang
you.
on. Wait, go back that up, buddy. What? You have grandchildren?
I have 3 grandchildren, and I'm not supposed
How-
to say anything, but there's about to be a 4th too. So
Congratulations.
Well, how old
Thank
are
you.
you? You look good.
I'm an elderly person. I'm quite old. I'm
I'm 81.
I'm 56.
You don't look.
So I'm
it.
57. So
yeah,
a year.
you don't. The beard makes take the beard off. That's aging, but you don't look 56.
Yeah, so great.
Even
Yeah.
with the
Well, thank
beard,
I
you don't
appreciate
look
that.
56.
Yeah, even with the beard.
So how
Yeah.
so because you do a lot of different things in the industry, and I'm super impressed with like how you've produced some really cool things. But like, how did you actually get into being a stunt person? Because stunt person, that's a whole another ball game from acting.
You know, we knew Bert Reynolds really well, and
Yeah.
Bert Reynolds started off stunt. Bert Reynolds was in pain all the time.
Yeah.
He took so much aspirin that he bled. His stomach bled. He was in the hospital. This was not public. We knew it, but the public didn't, because he broke practically every bone in his body.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
all
I
the-
never met Bert, but I did get to meet one of his best friends, Hal Needham, who was a big stunt guy, and Hal was kind of my I wouldn't say mentor because I didn't really know him. I met him, but I didn't know him. But he was someone I kind of aspired to be like, in that I wanted to do the stunts and I wanted to do things. So when I lived out there in the late 80s and early 90s, I befriended some guys that were stuntmen and took a little training, did some driver training and stuff. Got completely out of it, and then between work started picking up stunt gigs when I was between producing jobs and acting jobs and whatever, when I needed a check, and that led to another thing. And then one of my best friends, a guy named Mark Anthony Baca, who is a great stuntman. He owns a company.
Wait, back it up. What's his name?
His name is Mark Anthony Baca, and
He's a
his
big deal.
Is that Mark Anthony we know?
No.
yes, probably. He owns Extreme Force Hollywood Stunts. He just moved his company to Austin,
Oh,
Texas.
I think we know him.
I think you
Mark-
do know him. And
Yeah,
Mark and I are very good friends, and he and I have been doing a lot together. We just got back from Florida, a few weeks in Florida, doing stunts for a film down there, doing a couple of car chases and some falls and things. So Mark's really helped me get more into it because I really, really like it. I really like doing it.
You have
I
a good
love it.
speaking voice. Do you do voiceovers?
Oh, thank you. No, I don't. I've been asked that before. I was in LA just a few months ago, and I was at the Universal Sheraton down in the gym on the treadmill, and just me and this one other guy in there, and we're running, and he asked me what time it was, and I told him what time it was, and he says, "Wow, you have an amazing voice. You should be doing stunt work." Now the gym's kind of echoey because it has a real low ceiling. And he gave me his card and wanted me to reach out to him. He was going to give me voiceover work. And I reached out to him, and he sent me one little job, and I did it, and I've never heard from him again. So I guess I wasn't very good
Well, that's because you didn't sleep with him.
at it. Well,
Had you slept
I
with him,
offered, but no.
had you slept with him, you would have heard from him. That's Hollywood, baby. That's Hollywood.
Yeah.
I get hit on all the time. Ask Jimmy. I mean, I get such propositions at my age. I think they want to see what an 81-year-old looks like naked. It's like, it's like a dinosaur bones or what. But it's so, Jimmy will tell you when you call SAG, Jim, telling you what they answer.
Oh, so I'm doing another film. Actually, I'm doing a film right now in Georgia. Like, we're doing a pilot. And as soon as you call SAG, that's the first thing that, when you call the SAG number, it says, "Hi, you've reached SAG. And if you're calling to report sexual harassment or whatever, do this and hit, whatever. Like, before they even talk about anything else, that's the first thing that comes up, which is kind of scary.
I always
And if
say,
it involves Ron Russell, press 5.
Yeah.
No. People say to me, "Oh, you're in all of Jimmy's movies, aren't you?" I say, "Yes, that's because I sleep with the producer."
There you go.
Do you know a stunt guy named Alessandro Fulcito?
I know who he is. I don't know him.
Oh, okay.
He's famous.
He's one of my
Yeah, he is.
he's one of my partners in the production company that I'm doing
Oh,
that I
wonderful.
work with
Yeah,
in,
I know
in
who he is. I've
Georgia.
never met him. I don't know him.
Yeah.
but I would like to.
Doesn't he have
introduce
a
you.
famous father?
No. Well, he's just a famous stunt guy
Who's the
because he's
guy
in all
that-
the big
Who's
movies.
the guy that we know that has the famous father? Who's
Oh,
also a Hispanic person? I forgot who.
Fulcito's Italian.
Oh, Falcetto. He doesn't speak with accent, Jimmy.
Oh well.
Falsetto. It's falsetto. You know what falsetto means? Of fakeness.
And all the women in the chat room think you should keep the beard. By the way. I'm
no,
just letting
that's
you know.
because that's because
Thank you,
women.
lady.
There you go.
Let me tell you something. Women like the beard when it goes between their legs because
Oh,
it
don't
makes.
be dirty.
I am dirty. I'm talking guy talk. You rub that beard all over El Pousse, and the women
Mhm.
love it.
Yeah.
And then you could take your girlfriend with you for a week, just sniff your beard.
Yeah.
But anyway.
God, Jesus.
Oh,
So,
Jimmy,
so what,
Lord.
oh, look at that! She's found
Where are these
pictures of
coming
you.
from?
that's you?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know.
Oh, look
I don't
Look
recognize
how
that guy.
handsome. You are handsome. No wonder that guy gave you a card.
So what are some of your favorite projects that you've actually like worked on? Because you've really worked with some really great people.
Gosh, you know what I have, and you know, I thoroughly enjoyed my first real experience on a series. I was just basically a featured extra, but a reoccurring featured extra on NCIS New Orleans. But being involved in a series like that, you know, you get to know the cast, you get to know the crew. They've got you know, series television has a very fast pace, very fast schedule. I mean, it's you know, do it once, do it twice, flip the cameras, do it once, do it twice, moving on to the next, you know, deal.
Yes.
I really liked the pace of that. I really enjoyed the series work, and I hated leaving that, but I had to go do Dog Eat Dog, and I was going to be gone for several months, so I had to leave the show, and I hated it. But I think one of the coolest things I've ever done, it was actually a very, very small role. J.J. Abrams and Stephen King did a mini series for Hulu called 11/22/63.
Yeah, it was
based on
great.
Stephen King's book. And I played Ron Kellerman, who was the Secret Service agent in the front seat of the Kennedy limousine on the day he was assassinated. And we shot that scene in Dallas, in Dealey Plaza. They had the exact motorcade. They had the exact duplicate of the car. In fact, 2 of the cars in the motorcade were the actual cars from the original motorcade. They had hundreds of extras, security clothes all over the street. We're driving through Dealey Plaza. There's people just 10 feet away from the car, hollering, waving at the president. I'm in the front seat. We had actors playing Connolly and his wife in the middle seat, and then the president and Jackie in the back seat. And living that experience in real life, and actually doing it over and over again about 35 times. You know, the guys that lived it only lived it once, and it was over in 3 seconds. We did it over and over again, but that was probably the coolest, most surreal thing I've ever done, because, you know, being there, and we had run through it 2 or 3 times, and we had, of course, had a walkie-talkie in the car, and they told us on the walkie-talkie that now when we hit the spot, they were going to say bang on the radio, and then that's when we react and go into all our stuff. When we hit the spot, they didn't say bang on the radio. They fired a cannon off, the loudest thing I'd ever heard in my life, scared the bejesus out of everybody in the car. All 200 extras, everybody just ducked and started running. And I think that's actually the actual scene they used, because you can tell when they duck, they're really ducking. They were afraid. And it was just a really neat thing, but we did it, you know, over and over and over again, and the old cars kept breaking down. And,
so who was Kennedy? Who played Kennedy?
A great actor named Chris Phipps, who's a very good friend of mine. He's out of Dallas, Texas, and he actually looks the tremendous amount like Kennedy, and he played Kennedy in that movie. And Chris is a great actor. And
I love it.
Glad I got to even tell you a little bit about it, because he's a great guy.
So how was it working, since you produced Dog Eat Dog? How was it working with William Dafoe?
I love working with William Dafoe. I didn't get to meet him too much. I wasn't there a lot of the time while he was there. First of all, let me throw out, the only reason I was even involved in that film is I have a partner in Los Angeles named Mark Berman, who's a producer, and he and I have gotten involved in a number of things. And I was part of a small group that he and I were in that acquired the book Dog Eat Dog. It was written by Edward Bunker. And it took us years to put this movie together. And we got Paul Schrader involved, and then we got Nick involved, and then Willem Dafoe. So I just want to make sure that Mark got the credit he deserved for. He was the ramrod behind that job. He made that happen despite any number of barriers and obstacles that we hit along the way. But Willem Dafoe, and this is the opinion of everybody, he was just a great guy. He's you know, Cage is a method actor. He kind of stays in character all the time. And all the characters in this movie are kind of psycho, wacko characters. And, you know, so Cage was very, very quiet. He would shoot his scenes, go back to his trailer, because he was trying to stay in his little psycho mind character set. And William Dafoe is, you know, killing his girlfriend with a knife. And then they say, cut. And he's like, hey, where are we going for lunch? You know. He was a super guy. He took his entire cast and crew to a Cleveland baseball game.
He's a tremendous actor.
He took the whole cast and crew to a baseball game, paid for the beer and hot dogs and everything. So I'm a lifelong loyal fan of Willem Dafoe's, and
I'd like to work with him. I'm a method actor also. You know, everybody my age is. I ran into him in Greenwich Village
Uh-huh.
years ago, and he was in a rush to get by me. And then when I spoke with him and told him who I was and what it was, he stayed longer to talk to me. And I just
Mhm.
had the feeling that he was a really down to earth Joe,
Yeah.
a regular,
Yeah. He's
a
one of
nice
those
guy.
people
He's
that,
very little. He's a tiny little
yeah, he's
skinny
a small
man.
guy. But,
Tiny. I
he's
mean,
he's
on
one of those
screen.
people when you meet somebody and you have an expectation of what they're going to be like, someone you really,
Yeah.
really like them, and then you meet them and they're nothing like what you thought and you're disappointed. He's not that guy. He's that guy. He's exactly who you hoped he would be.
Well, no.
And
When
he's
I ran into
super
him,
nice guy.
I said, you're I said, what the fuck is your name? I said, I know you. And he started to laugh. He said, I'm DeVoe. I said, yes, William DeVoe. I couldn't think of your name. And I said, I don't want to sound like a fan with the bullshit. I love your work, but I really do. I said,
Yeah.
I'm an actor also. And at that time I was on, I think, Charlie's Angels or one of those shits.
Mhm.
And we talked about it. And he was a really sweet guy, but I couldn't get over how little he is.
Right.
I mean, I'm 6 foot. He's narrow, his shoulders, everything. He's like
Yeah.
a petite human being.
I
but
love
very
all,
nice.
I love all this stuff, and I'm a big fan of
He's
Boondock Saints.
he's a great
when he-
actor. I'm
when
a
he,
fan of
when he plays
Williams
the
also.
crazy detective, like in
Yeah.
Boondock Saints. He's so freaking
Right.
good.
Yeah.
Jimmy,
I don't think I've ever seen him in anything I didn't like him in. So
No, he's
So-
even when he played Christ, he was believable.
One of the,
wait, Jimmy, I really think you should put DeVoe on your list of actors. You got to get him in one of your films because I want to work with him.
Okay, so I want to go through
I'm
on one of the
serious,
one
I'm
of the
not
things
kidding.
that you said, and I just want to spark on it because people ask me all the time things like, you talk about you're starting to work on a movie, and it takes a long time to get it all going, and they're like,
Yeah.
how come this isn't done? And you said this movie took years to put together.
It did.
So just speak a little bit on how difficult, because everybody thinks it's so easy to like go and make a movie and don't realize, sometimes people are working on movies for 5 or 10 years before they get
Right,
everything, all the
right.
pieces to fall together. So I want people to hear it from somebody else, because if I tell them, nobody listens
And
to
I
me.
tell them all the time, it's an
No, it's-
impossibility.
Gosh, we've got some, we had one that took 3 years to get done and we were 8 days into filming and COVID shut us down and we still haven't got that one back up yet.
Wow.
But just as an example, Dog Eat Dog, we acquired the book, gosh, I don't even remember, 2009 or 10. Spent a couple of years just trying to figure out what to do with it. Then, we have studio partners that come in with us, in this case, ArcLight and some other people came in as partners. Well, before they're going to do anything, you got to turn a book into a script, so you got to get
Right.
screenwriters involved. And of course they have criteria of the screenwriters that you get involved. If they're going to be involved, you have to have screenwriters that they approve of, and then you have to go through that process and then you're back and forth with that. Then we got Paul Schrader involved. Schrader's amazing, a raging bull, officer and a gentleman, taxi driver, all that. So then Schrader got involved and, wanted to direct, and we got him attached and, super creative guy, but, then ended up rewriting again, so we're back in another rewrite that took 8 months or a year. And then Schrader wanted Cage for the movie, and we reached out to Cage, and of course Schrader knows Cage very well, and Cage wanted to do it, but he didn't want to do the role we wanted him for. He wanted to do a different role. And so we ended up rewriting the script again, for the different actors, and just kind of round and round. And then, getting the financing put together. And then once all that's done, coordinating everybody's schedule.
With the financing.
With the
yes.
financing. Oh, is that a joy? That's the best part.
Yeah. Well, that's why you see my title has recently gone from executive producer down to producer. I really like doing the for hire work better. I get so tired of chasing money that the last several things I've done is just for hire producer work. I'm hopefully going to sign a deal this week to do 2 films for Netflix.
I'm in the business.
That's big. That's good.
I'm in the business 64 years,
Mhm.
and my first movie was 1959 with Sophia and Tab Hunter, Sophia Loren, and I thought it was no big deal if you're going to make a movie. Why are they always carrying on?
Yeah.
Now let's fast forward to now. I've written a wonderful movie that everybody loves,
Yeah.
and it's a nightmare. I will never do it again. I don't want any part of production. I tell Jimmy, you're producing it, not me. I don't want to know anything. Give me my call time. When am I on? Give me my schedule.
Yeah.
Well, and that's it. I wouldn't touch it with. Oh, you're crazy, you guys.
Well, even the good old days, the studio just greenlit something, wrote the check, and they went and made it. But even now, even the big studio films now, even though it may be a studio film, it's going to be financed through hedge funds and all kinds of different things, and then everything has to be bonded, and it's just a mess. But
yeah, but years ago you could make a good film for $1 million.
Oh yeah.
Today that very same film is $100 million. And where the hell are you going to go find 50 to 100 million if you're not Steven Spielberg?
No, that's right. You've got to have that behind you. So
it's impossible. That's why we have so much junk in the theater and on television, because we don't have the funding that is necessary to make the film a quality film and get quality good actors.
So let's talk real quick because we've only got about 8 minutes left.
No, I like him. He's interesting. Let him over.
We'll bring him back. So let's talk.
He's a good talker.
Let's talk about Poker Run.
John
Schneider's film. Who do you play in Poker Run?
I play Big Texas. Imagine that. I'm one of the gamblers.
That's a stretch.
Yeah. But I was trying to stretch as an actor and really go someplace deep. And I thought a John Schneider movie was the place to do that. So, no, I was invited to come be a part of that. I couldn't wait. I had never met John at the time, and got to know John and his wife Alicia a little bit. They're super, super great folks. I had the best time ever on making that movie because there was all these hundreds of extras around and other people, and they're all watching, and of course everybody's cracking up and being silly, and we're shooting a scene where we're literally betting on, you put a chicken in a box and you're betting on where the chicken's going to poop. Things like that. It's just ridiculous stuff, and we're having the best time. And I told everybody later, I said it was literally like living through a Bert Reynolds blooper reel. Everybody was cutting up and cracking up, and it was really funny too, because there was this one point Dane Rhodes and myself and John are discussing our lines in this upcoming scene, and there's some confusion over who says what. And I said, no, that's my line, and Dane is like, yeah, no, that's his line, and John's saying, no, this line is your line, and we get in this whole big thing about it. Well, it turns out 2 of John's script pages had stuck together. So he was starting 2 pages at once. Crazy stuff like that was going on. It was just too much fun. Everybody was laughing. It was hard to keep a straight face.
Look at you.
And some of that. And but I thoroughly enjoyed making the movie. John's writing the third in the series right now. I don't know what it's going to be called, but he implied that there might be something for me in that. So I've got my fingers crossed. No promises, but hoping
you brought up Bert's name again. Bert used to always say, because he had a reputation of being a flirt and funny on set. Bert did not believe in working long or hard. He thought it had to be fun. So he would do pranks and silly stuff. But they used to warn him before they hired him. You must be serious. You are only allowed X amount of laughs in a show, in a take, and you cannot flirt with the star or go to bed with them, which he went to bed with every one of them. And he used to tell us about that. He said, if you don't make fun while you're working, he said, it stinks. It's a long day. It's boring. You wait for setups. Let's have some fun while we're doing it.
Yeah. So as a producer, I think it's part of my job to create the tone and the atmosphere on set.
But he went to bed. He went to bed.
3 things that are crazy important to me is that, number one, it's a professional set. Everybody behaves professionally and acts professionally. That it's a safe set. Nobody gets hurt. We follow safety procedures. And number 3, that everybody has fun. If we're not having fun, we might as well be doing something else that's a lot easier. Fun is extremely, extremely important.
But Burt Reynolds had an idea that fun was sleeping with that gorgeous Catherine Deneuve. Because I asked him, I said, did you ever sleep with her? And he said, what do you think? I said, I think yes. He said, you got that right, buddy.
Yeah.
So, Catherine Deneuve, you know who she is?
I do.
Oh, God, was she gorgeous. Bert loved his ladies.
All my life, I'm a huge Burt Reynolds fan. When Smoking the Bandit was in theaters, I saw it at least 25 or 30 times in the theater when I was, whatever it was, 12, 13 years old.
Yeah, it was a big one for me, too.
I like Bert. I miss him. Yeah. I spent a lot of time because my best friend Lee Winkler was his business manager.
Yeah.
So that's how we were all part of that.
That's one of the things I like about listening to y'all's show is you guys are have a lot of old school ties, and I'm an old soul. I have a lot of old school stuff. You had mentioned Ron. I can't remember who y'all were interviewing, but you had mentioned something about one of your favorite actresses was Jane Russell.
Oh, my best friend. Are you kidding?
I got to meet her several years ago before she passed away. And it was one of the coolest things ever. That was one of those things where I couldn't take my eyes. Obviously, she was elderly at the time, but still had that 18-hour figure and everything going on there.
Beautiful. Jane and I were brother and sister. We weren't friends. We hung out together.
Wow.
Well, I took her name because I was a fan of hers as a kid, and I think she appreciated that. And we really got along. She stayed at my house. I stayed at her house. We went all over together. So there's nothing about Jane I don't know. A lot of it I won't tell. But I mean, Jane Russell was a straight shooter, my kind of people, no bullshit, no movie star, down to earth, good girl, did anything for you. I mean, I remember we were at a red carpet event, and one of the photographers said to me, "Sir, would you step away? We want to shoot Jane." And I started to do that, and she grabbed me by my shoulder pad and pulled me in. She said, "If he's not in the picture, turn your camera off."
There you go.
Because I was her escort. So that's the kind of people that I knew. I knew old Hollywood where people had class and
She
style.
was wonderful. I was in Washington,
How'd you meet her?
I was in DC for something, and I was with Art Linkletter of all people. And Art and I were walking through the hotel, and there's this large corridor with a big crowd. And of course, everybody saw Mr. Linkletter and came over and started speaking to him and taking pictures and things. And I was standing there, and someone tapped me on my shoulder. And I turned around, and it was a young guy in a very nice suit. And he said, "Are you with Mr. Linkletter?" And I said, "Yes, I am." He says, "I have Miss Jane Russell over here, and she would like to say hello to Mr. Linkletter." And I turned around, and there she was, in all her glory. Yep, that's her. And of course, I went over and told Mr. Linkletter that she was there, and we adjourned into a side room and had a wonderful, wonderful conversation.
Yeah. What year was that?
Oh gosh, last year I was. This had to be 2000, maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah, shortly before she died. I have the last picture of Jane Russell alive.
Wow.
And what magazine was? They were going to pay me a lot of money for it, and I wouldn't give it to them, and I never will. It's my picture. I'm not going to make it public. It's a beautiful picture of the two of us, but it was the last photograph before she passed away. She was at our house, and I was at the airport. And she went on the plane, and she got very sick on the plane, and they put it down in Tampa, and she had to go to the hospital, and she was suffering from a heart problem,
congestive heart
failure, and she passed away, and I was devastated, and so was
I hate that.
Terry Moore, I mean Nancy Kwan, Rhonda Fleming, Arlene Dahl, all the old stars that I met, Esther Williams, all those great movie stars that I've met through Jane. Everybody, we were all devastated. But you know what happened? Being a born-again Christian, they said we don't want anybody from Hollywood at her funeral. And we were not allowed to go to Jane Russell's funeral because they didn't want Hollywood there. Her son had that. Her son did that. He always resented Hollywood because it took his mother away from him.
Right.
Sad stories, but Jane was wonderful. I miss her. I love her every time.
Real quick, because we're going to keep you on till our next guest comes anyway. But behind you, is that your Emmy behind you?
Yes, way back over there. That's.
So they're all asking in the chat room, and I said yes, it is. But like, I didn't know if it is or not.
It's very, very old. It's from 1986, and it's a producer Emmy. It's not an actor Emmy by any means. That was for a news story.
Fucking Emmy is an Emmy is an Emmy.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
And
not that many people have them.
I was walking across the studio lot. I saw it in the dumpster, and I grabbed it and ran for my car.
No, listen to this. I got a box in the mail, and it said on it Emmy, and I thought, gee, Jimmy, I won an Emmy. When I opened it up, I read it wrong. It was an enema.
There you go. Sometimes it feels like the same thing. So
I'd like to win an Emmy. You know, I may still. You never know.
I'd like to win another one. We were nominated for one just a few years ago for the best
we were
original
nominated
music
also.
Christmas film that we did.
Yeah,
called The Heart of Christmas.
Jimmy and I were nominated 2 years ago for an Emmy.
No, not 2, 3, 4,
3 years,
5
ago.
years ago, 2016.
Whatever the fuck it was. But anyway, we could be nominated again. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes.
So listen, what do you got going in the future? Anything exciting you want to tell us about?
Well, I'm hopefully signing something this week that I can't talk about yet. But if it happens,
I know, I hate that. I really hate.
I do too, and especially because it was supposed to be signed last week, but the director has COVID and they can't finalize everything. And
Did you know something years ago when I was in film in the early 60s? You know what they used to put in your contract? Be sure when you go to parties, you tell everybody about your film, all
Yeah.
about what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what you had to do.
Yeah.
You had
Well,
to
as soon
do
as I'm signed, I'm happy to talk about it, but we haven't signed the final paper, so I
No,
can't say
but-
I'm attached yet.
pre-publicity is no longer.
But he's not attached yet.
I
so
know,
it's not
Jimmy.
him.
How many films you tell me? Shut your mouth. Don't talk
I know.
about
That's because
it.
you're not allowed to talk about it.
But that's stupid because pre-publicity wets the whistle of people that they want to see it.
And I don't want to jinx it. I really want this movie, so I don't want to screw it up.
No, that's good.
No, it never.
Yeah, keep my mouth shut while I can. But I've got a few other things coming out. I just had a show I did. We shot last summer called The $1 Billion Scoundrel. It's the story of the Alan Stanford financial crisis. We did that for Sky Television. It aired over in the UK. I still haven't seen it, but that just aired. Got other things. Of course, we had Poker Run that just came out. Just did a movie a few months ago with Damian Chapa that'll be out in February. Gosh, what else? I've done just did a movie in Florida. I did a bunch of stunts and car chases for a movie in Florida called Roadkill that'll be around next summer. Fun little horror movie. And gosh, I can't even think of everything that's going on.
That's a lot.
Well, I just finished the film. What, 2 weeks ago?
Well, we just wrapped now.
And
so
I'm
yes.
not allowed to speak about it. And I think that's. I mean, I put pictures up of me as a doctor with Sadie Katz, but it was not a scene from the movie. It was an offset picture. But we're not allowed to put up any pictures of us actually working. And we're not allowed to speak of it. I said, go fuck yourself. What is this nonsense? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, at some point we open it up so that everybody will talk about it and get that.
But I don't believe in jinx, because if you live positively all your life.
He's not really correct though. I mean, we were already featured in Deadline for it, so it's out there. Just but
I was told not to put it on Facebook. You all had a fit when I did.
That's because you did it before Deadline.
No, I did not do it. I never mentioned the movie. I simply said I finished shooting a film and it was fun with Sadie Katz. And I said,
he knows all about the film because I actually contacted him to see if he had anybody who could help me finance it.
I wrote on Facebook, how would you like to play doctor with Sadie Katz?
Yeah.
I don't know if he knows who Sadie is. Do you know Sadie Katz?
That gorgeous.
I know she is. I don't know her.
Okay.
She's my adorable, blonde, beautiful, fabulous actress.
Yeah, she's
and
fabulous.
Producer. She's quite a talent.
Yeah.
And all the guys die for her. She's so beautiful and sexy. Yeah. So I said, wouldn't you like to play doctor with?
So do you like doing horror movies? Because you've got a very wide variety. I'm a big horror movie fan.
It seems like they kind of come in bursts. I've done a lot of crime dramas and a lot of crime stuff, and I'm constantly cast as a policeman or a federal agent or.
Me too.
That was all I was doing for a long time. I mean, FBI, CIA, DEA, NCIS. If it's got initials, I've been it, and that was kind of the thing for a while. And then I got to do a children's fantasy comedy movie over the summer that was an absolute blast. 80% of the cast was under 14, and it was just had a great time. And that's the first thing like that I've ever done. And then all of a sudden I've been doing some of these gory, bloody slasher things. Doing stunts for the last couple. This one I'm hopefully going to sign here in the next day or two is a blood gore, slasher, chop up all the teenagers movie. So I'm really excited about doing that though. But I'm kind of in that. That's just kind of where I'm cycling through right now. It seems to cycle through different genres, and I really kind of started pushing away from the cop stuff because that's all I was doing, and you get tired of playing a cop all the time. So
I agree, but that's what they see. Either I play a mafia gangster or a cop. This time I played a doctor, and I was thrilled because I could comb my hair back and put glasses on and look like a sophisticated doctor, not like a murderer. Now, it's my New York accent that they buy. They love my New York accent because it is so mafioso. But I would like to play. I'm too old for a romantic lead unless I played. Well, I could. No, I'm 81, so I could play opposite an 81-year-old woman in some sort of a tender love story.
Right.
But there's no humping in the bed.
Right. I'd love to do a romantic type thing, but I've never been asked.
Me neither. I've never been thought of as. No, I've never been thought of as a romantic person, leader. No, I've always been the killer. Tough
Right.
guy, very tough.
Right.
I hope we work together one day. It'll be fun. You're a
I
nice
would
guy.
love to. That would be a lot of fun.
Well, talk to my producer husband. He's the one that has cast people.
Actually,
I'll
we're going
put
to
that
talk
to
next
him.
week on some stuff. He sent me some stuff that maybe we
Oh,
could
you're
work
gonna-
on.
Oh, good. Is he in my scenes?
Well, we don't know which one we're going to do yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope you're in my scenes. It'd be nice meeting you.
Yeah. One movie I'll get in trouble with if I don't mention it. It's on Amazon right now. It hit Amazon in April. Is I did a movie last year called His Stretch of Texas Ground. It's a fun little Texas small town Texas sheriff with a really bad guy comes to town, and I play the sheriff's best friend and his deputy. I'm kind of the Barney Fife character, although it's not a comedy. And that's a great movie. But it's His Stretch of Texas Ground on Amazon right now. So I did want to pitch that.
It's out right now. You people can see it right now.
Yeah, you go to Amazon right now and watch His Stretch of Texas Ground. It is the sequel to My Stretch of Texas Ground, not to get them confused.
Now, is it free or is it pay?
I don't know. For Prime members, it might be free. I'm not sure. But I just recently booked. They're shooting the third installment. The sheriff's name is Joe Halden in the first two movies. The third movie is Joe Halden in the Case of the Missing Sister. That starts shooting in April, and I'm cast in that already. So
good for
I'll
you.
cast in a
So
different role.
good. Work is important. You need. You got a life to live. You know, you have to eat. They think that actors just exist, that we don't eat or sleep or hurt.
And we have bills just like everybody else.
Yeah.
I got a mortgage and a car payment.
I once said to someone, didn't you know that Marilyn Monroe pees? And they said, oh, no, she doesn't. I said, what do you mean she doesn't pee? What do you think, she's going to explode?
Yeah.
They said, oh, I can't picture Marilyn Monroe doing any of that in the bathroom. I said, well, she's human. She does, God damn it. You know,
It's hard to
people
imagine.
Well, they fantasize. People really make actors out to be, I don't know what. Don't you ever get that from fans when they say, "Oh, you're a real person"?
Yeah,
I'm a fake person. I'm a fake person making believe I'm a real person.
In fact, they usually are surprised at how kind of silly and ridiculous I am, because I do always play such serious people.
Right.
And but in real life, I'm a practical jokester. I'm a kidder. I'm constantly cutting up and being silly, and
Right.
people are surprised by that.
So let me ask you a question. Bucket list. So you've worked with a lot of cool people. Male and female actor that you think it would be awesome to work with. And then the second half of the question will be, if you could have ever been in any movie ever made in history, what movie would you have liked to have been in?
Oh gosh, male actors. There's a couple.
Go
Gosh,
ahead.
I'm
Give me.
having-
You can give me a
Yeah,
couple.
I'm having a complete. I'm brain farting on his name right. Robert Duvall. I would love to do anything. with
Oh,
Robert
that's good.
Duvall.
Nobody picked him ever. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think he's amazing.
I knew him years ago. He was a very deep.
Yeah.
Well, he's also a
Love to
method.
do. You know,
Method
so many of the
actor.
really, really great guys are getting older now. They're not going to be around for forever and ever. I would love to do
Right.
something with him.
But Duvall is a method actor from years ago, and he's very deep, even as a non-actor. If you meet him and you speak with him, he's extremely deep, serious fella.
Yeah,
Wait, let him finish though. Let him finish.
So
the
I just
answer.
want to. People out there like to get a little dirt on the actor when they hear the name. You know.
Yeah. So, gosh, Robert Duvall. I'd like to work with Matt McConaughey. I think Matt's a neat guy. I've met him a couple times. He's just a fun, neat guy. I think he'd be fun to work with, but I also like the work he does. As far as females, gosh, I get in trouble. I'm in love with Jennifer Aniston, but that's never going to happen. But
Jennifer Anderson.
she's
no-
my
no one-
hall pass. So,
Oh, that's
but,
funny. That's
No one ever says.
Ron doesn't really like her.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I read once that she was the sexiest girl in the world and the most beautiful, and there I had a little difficulty. I don't think she's the most beautiful.
He
or-
likes her though. So
well,
I guess
it's sells each his own, as we used to say. To
Right.
each his own. You know, everyone has different opinion. You know, I think Sophia
who's
Loren
another
was
one?
the
Who's
most
another
beautiful
one?
woman in the world.
who's another one, Jeff? Who's another like female that you'd like to work with?
Gosh, well, there's a lot of actors that have passed that I would have loved to have worked with.
Would you like
There
to
are.
work with? Would you like to work with Sophia Loren?
I would love to work with Sophia Loren.
Me
I would
too.
love to. Is she even still working? Because the last thing I remember really seeing her in has been a few years ago.
She's starting to. She's very bored. You know, as I said, I made a movie with her
Yeah.
in '59, and I loved her then.
Yeah.
I would love to, before I die, make a film with her again.
I'm sure she's done something since then. The last thing I remember her, I think, was Grumpy
She has
or
one
Old
that
Men.
came out.
Well,
no,
her-
no, she has
no,
something
no,
that came
her-
out this year.
Her son produced a wonderful story about her. She was brilliant in it, and I think she may get an Oscar for it this year.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
That'd
no,
be exciting.
Sophia's coming back, and I think she's a brilliant actress
Yeah.
because she's no longer the great beauty. Now she's become the Anna Magnani of movies. She's got that wonderful, Italian.
I like Jennifer Lawrence.
I love Jennifer Lawrence.
I like
And
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence and Charlize Theron, I think, are like my
Yeah.
and Julia Roberts and Sandra Bullock.
No, you know who
Yeah,
I love?
yeah.
The one.
I had to
the one-
do a scene with Sean Penn a few years ago, and I was so disappointed because at the time he was engaged to Charlize Theron, and I was so upset that she wasn't on set with him. I was hoping to get to meet her. So,
the one that I think is a brilliant actress, not happening. I don't understand why. Is Downton Abbey's girl.
Well, now I forgot her name.
I forgot her name.
Michelle.
Michelle.
the tall brunette, the tall thin
Yeah,
brunette.
Yeah.
he loves
Yeah, I know who
her.
you're talking about. I can't think of her name off the top of my head.
I know her. Not Hag. Michelle. Oh shit, I forgot.
Anyway,
Yeah.
she did
Brilliant.
a TV series that was on
Brilliant.
the TNT network where she was like this hustler.
I saw that, but it didn't
That-
last.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, only
wasn't
did
she
2
wonderful?
seasons, but she was so good in that.
She is she's beautiful and a hell of an actress, and I'm dying to work
The
with
life
her.
I
And
had.
I-
Michelle Dockery.
Michelle Dockery.
Still
There we
Dockery,
go.
right?
And I keep telling Jimmy, we've got to cast her in one of the movies because
Yeah.
I have to work with this lady.
Yeah.
I must work with her. She's brilliant.
Mhm.
Okay, what
Brilliant.
movie would you have liked to have been in?
Well, obviously, Smoking the Bandit would have been great, but not gonna happen.
By the way, interjection, that was Bert's favorite. I
I
asked
bet it
Bert.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of Bert's most favorite movies. He loved it.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. I would have. I'm not. If you try to separate serious movies from fun movies, it'd be fun to be in Smoking the Bandit or Die Hard or something like that. But gosh, I had one a minute ago and it's slipped my mind now. But
That's funny.
yeah, I mean, there's a million
Well,
of them.
also, Bert's other favorite movie was the one he did with Dolly Parton. What was that called?
Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Exactly. Bert liked that film as well.
Yeah, the man that Dom DeLuise played in that movie, the TV reporter, his real name was Marvin Zindler, and Marvin Zindler got me my very first job in television when I was 17 years old.
How do you like that? See,
Yeah.
it's a small world. 6 degrees.
All circles back
Six-
around, doesn't it?
6 degrees. It's 6
Yeah,
degrees.
yeah, all circles back around.
Yeah.
But I loved his older stuff. I loved like Gator and all that. So
Oh, I love Gator.
yeah,
Longest Yard. I love The Longest Yard.
Longest Yard, the original Longest Yard was great.
Yeah, the original one. The remake sucked, but the original was
Yeah.
really good.
There were a couple of films he was not happy on, especially one film where the love of his life, out of all the women he was with, was Ingrid, the blonde actress. She committed suicide, and Bert never got over it. Ingrid Stevens. Ingrid
Mhm.
Stevens was a beautiful blonde woman that Burt Reynolds was madly in love with. When she committed suicide, my friend Lee Winkler, his manager,
Mhm.
took Bert to a motel room for 4 days. They stayed in the motel room where Bert did nothing but smash furniture, scream and cry. He was wild.
Wow.
So all the other ladies, I mean, I knew him when he was with Dinah Shore. That was a lovely relationship, but Bert really was not in love. No, he never got over Ingrid Stevens.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's good for you to know. You're a
Yeah.
fan of Bert's.
Well, I'm a fan. Every little tidbit that I get, is important. Like you were talking about Marilyn Monroe and Burt Reynolds and Marilyn Monroe really knew each other way back when. And I heard Bert tell a story one time about he was literally walking down a street in Manhattan with Marilyn Monroe, and there's other people on the street, and he said to her, he said, no one's recognizing you, no one's noticing you. I can't believe we're just walking down the street and no one is recognizing you. And she turned to him and said, watch this. And she walked forward, took about 5, just changed her posture, changed her walk, and started walking a little differently, and walked within 5 steps, people were all over her.
Well, they said she walked like,
She just changed her,
yeah,
whatever.
They
She
said
turned it on,
they said she walked like Jello on springs.
Yeah. But apparently she had the ability to turn that on and off. And
Yeah, well, Burt Reynolds did her also. Burt Reynolds, I don't know. No, I mean, we used to talk guy talk, and you know how
Sure.
you know me, I got a big fucking mouth. I ask questions and nobody
You talk
dares.
guy talk, but there's thousands of people.
No,
listening.
and I said to Bert, I said, really and truly, can you give me a number of how many women you banged? He said, well, let's put it this way. My dick used to be fatter. I wore it down. So that's Bert Reynolds, a joke that he would do.
Right,
I said, you think like 1,000 women? And he pondered. He said, could be.
Yeah.
I mean, Burt Reynolds was just a sex machine, and women just threw themselves at him. He couldn't say no. I mean, they were jumping on him. I mean, when we used to go to dinner, Perry Lee and myself and Bert, and maybe with his girlfriend at the time was that other girl, Sally Fields. We would go to a nice little restaurant in Beverly Hills. The women, I mean, they'd leave their husbands, they'd leave their boyfriends, they'd come over, they start shaking their tits, they'd breathe heavy, they'd say, oh, Bert. I mean, they were like coming from him. What the man had, I don't know, but it was magic.
Yeah,
So hang on, here's what we got to do because our next guest is here. So we're gonna first,
okay.
you guys. So Instagram for Jeff is at Jeff Caperton, Caperton. Do you have any other socials, or is that your main social?
I've got that. I've got Twitter. I don't tweet very much. Barry gets on me because I don't tweet enough. But Twitter, same thing. Jeff Caperton. Facebook is also Jeff Caperton, just like it is right there. I think Facebook has a space, but I'm not sure. If it's a picture of me in a tuxedo, that's me. You know,
We want to thank Barry too. Let's say hi to Barry. Hey Barry,
Hey, Barry.
Thanks for setting this up for us,
Yeah.
Barry.
And Jeff, I'm happy that you're a fan of Bert's because Bert means a lot to me.
Well, I'm glad. I appreciate that, Ron. I appreciate that very much. And I appreciate you guys having me on the show.
I appreciate that you brought up his name. I don't like I always bring up Jane's name also. When I have friends I love and they're gone, I don't want them to be forgotten.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I actually intended to bring her name up because I know you had told a story about her on a previous show that I heard.
Yeah, no, Jane and I were buddies. But
it's hard to talk about John Schneider and not somehow have Burt Reynolds come up. So
yeah,
that's right.
But I love the fact that you're a fan and you brought his name up because Bert was quite an actor, quite a person. He gave more money. I mean, I remember he gave 2 Trans Ams away to guys that didn't have money to buy a car. He said, oh, you don't have a car? How come? He said, well, they repossessed my car. Bert said, oh, really? Well, the next day he called Trans Am. He said, if you want me to drive your fucking car, send one to this guy. That's what he did. And he gave more money away to children's hospitals. Burt Reynolds was probably one of the nicest human beings on the planet.
Well, good. I'm glad to know that.
So I'm
so sorry he's gone.
Follow Jeff. Follow Jeff. Check out. Don't forget to check out Poker Run. You can go to johnschneiderstudios.com or cineflixdod.com. CINEFLIXDOD.com. We want to thank you. We want to thank you for coming on the show and wish you a happy New Year.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys. And really quick, let me just pitch my new podcast. It's called Texas Backstage Pass, and it starts airing on Apple Podcasts and Spotify January 1st. So watch for it, Texas Backstage Pass.
You hear that, folks?
There you go, Texas Backstage
Watch
Pass.
for it.
All right, Jeff, thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Jeff. Happy New Year to you.
All right, you
nice
guys.
Nice guy.
So you can hear the Jimmy Star Show on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, Amazon Prime, and SoundCloud. We're on a bunch of other ones too, but those are the biggest ones. And now we're going to bring in our next guest, Markos, and let's figure out how to pronounce his last name correctly, and then we'll introduce him once he gets on.
Hi, Markos.
Hey Markos, how do I pronounce your last name?
Papadatos.
Okay. See, I got it right. All right, you guys. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the power journalist, Markos Papadatos.
You want to introduce me?
No, I'm introducing him first on the show, and then I introduce you.
Oh, is that how we're going to do it? It changes.
We're going to do it again. Now we want to welcome to the show, you guys, Markos Papadatos, the power journalist. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So this is our cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Calimera.
I love Burt Reynolds, so I just wanted to say that. I just love
Burt Reynolds. I knew Burt for many years, and he was the best guy in the world. If you know, I'm a gay man, and if I had to be, I wish to be a straight man, I would have wished to be Burt Reynolds because he was the man's man. I mean, he was the true guy that you want to hang with, drink with, smoke. I mean, he was just a guy. Just terrific. So listen, I have, we had Greek in-laws, Mary Malios and Despina Batidis, and my brother-in-law Evangele Antonides. They were all from Greece, from Rhodes, and my nephew Evan is also Greek. So I have a great background of Greek culture. I love Greek people. I love the sensitivity of the Greeks. I love the family. Mary and Despina were treated like queens, the two sisters, because they were old women. The respect that the Greeks have for each other is enormous. And I love the chopped meat in the leaves, in the grape leaves. No, really. And I remember at Christmas time, if I'd go to my sister's house, because her husband was Greek, they would put on this wonderful belly dancing music, and I would get up there and we would do the Greek dance with the handkerchief. Such wonderful memories. I adore Greek people, and I've been to Greece and love Greece. Greece is beautiful.
So real quick, Markos, we have a chat room with all kinds of countries represented. Just say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Greece,
How are you, everybody?
say hi in Greek, because we we go to Greece as well.
So you guys, Markos is the power journalist. He's an author, a 5-time Best of Long Island winner, Journalist of the Year in the Greek and American press. He's done over 16,000 celebrity interviews for digitaljournal.com, which is like a really phenomenal publication. It's not like he doesn't write for some shit thing. He writes for a really big thing. And we've never really had too many journalists on, except for my business partner, who's a journalist who I'm going to introduce you to after the show in an email. But we want to welcome you to the show. Actually, you have interviewed a ton of people that we've had on the show. I made a little list of people that you've interviewed. So you guys, this is some of the people that he's interviewed, and this is just some of them because he's got 16,000 of them, and I picked out like 20 of them. But Maurice Bernard, who we actually went to an Emmy party with, Sean Kanan and Tristan Rogers were both on our show. Christos Andrews,
and they're friends of ours.
Christos Andrews, who was on our show, Lance Bass, who was on our show, Steve Burton, Cameron Matheson, Chaz Palminteri, Michael Constantine, Neil Diamond, Ed Asner, Hunter Hayes, David Cook, Donnie Osmond, Chris Allen, Jordan Sparks, Ian Buchanan, who's been on our show, Kevin Spiritus, who was just on our show, Roger Daltrey, Jeff Timmons, who's been on our show, Natasha Benningfield, Eddie Cibrian, Rob Thomas, Debbie Gibson, and there's 15,960 more of them. So congratulations. How did you get into, how did you decide I'm going to be a journalist?
I started writing in the Queens College newspaper, the Night News. They were looking for writers at the time, and people were responding well to my articles. I'm like, I can really see myself doing this for the next few years.
So he's from Long Island, because you're like
Where are you from in Long Island?
Armingdale.
Oh, Jesus, I was from Garden City. Do you know Peter Pagonis, the Pagonis family? They owned
Not yet, but I know the girl won the Paralympics.
Because they owned the diner on, in Garden City. What the hell is that? They own 3 diners. Oh, they own the Manhasset diner. The Pagonises. My daughter was engaged to Peter. Listen, you married?
No. Single.
I have a daughter who's no, really, I mean it. She's gorgeous. She's blonde. She's Italian like me. She cooks and cleans. She's a good girl. She's no putana, and she is looking for a husband because it's time she gets married.
You're looking for her for a husband.
No. She's looking, and she is loved so much by Peter Pagonis' family. They were Greek.
He's young though. Look at, he's like 20 something. How old are you?
36.
Oh, are you really? Wow. You don't look anywhere near 36. I would have thought you were like in your 20s.
Yeah, but I can't see it. Well, I can't fix you up. She's older than you. Anyway.
So you started writing for Queens College, and how did you actually get hooked up with Digital Journal then? Because that's like a really prominent, prestigious outlet to write for.
Yeah, then I, after Queens College, I interned for Broken Records magazine in Staten Island. I did that for 3 almost years. And then I developed like a track record and relationship with the publicist. Then I went to a few other online publications, and then I eventually applied for Digital Journal, and it took me within a week, and then the rest is history.
Congratulations, because that's like it's a big deal.
We want to move back to Long Island. I don't like California, and I want to move to East Hampton or Southampton because it's New York. I miss New York. And I miss the people. I'm a Long Island boy from Brooklyn, but lived on Long Island many years. We lived in Setauket, and then we moved to Garden City. Farmingdale, that's changed. The prices on the houses there are a joke now.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's at $1 million. What are they, nuts? Their houses were $29.90. Now they're $1 million. But I miss Long Island. So what have you got to say about, let's say, what's going on in New York being a journalist?
Well, now it's sad because everything is getting postponed and canceled again. So
Again, they're doing that. They're shutting down again.
I literally just, because we were invited to a New Year's Eve party that we're not going to because we're going to a different one, but I literally just got a text message from them saying they apologize, but the party's been canceled. And this is like a one with a lot of movie stars and stuff, and they said that it's sad that it happened again, but because of COVID, it's been canceled.
Which
So-
puts a damper on our business, because when we go to these parties, we get to meet, as you know, the celebrities, and then we invite them on the show. So it really is hurting everybody. This damn. I just got my shot yesterday, and so did Jimmy. Our final shot, our booster shot. Did you?
I got in October. So yeah.
Good. Stay safe. So
At the concerts, they want you to be as boosted up as possible because I don't want to get that thing up my nose every time.
No, but you should be going to the thing that Jimmy's producing in New York. What was it, Wonderama?
Oh, it's a Wonderama thing. It's on.
And you should cover that. There's going to be quite a few people that you may want to cover. It's
Cool.
Wonderama, yeah. In fact, my beautiful daughter Leslie, she was, by the way, first runner-up in Miss America. She was Miss Long Island, Miss New York. She looks like Michelle Pfeiffer better. But anyway, because my wife was Dutch. Anyway, she went out with Sandy Becker, and she said he was too old at the time.
Does he know what? Do you know what Wonderama is?
No.
Oh, you're too. Oh well,
Too young to know what Wonderama
well,
is.
no, he would have been a kid when he was a little boy. Wonderama was big. It was very famous.
It's a kids show anyway, and they're doing a New Year's Eve.
Talk to Jimmy after the show.
They're doing a thing in
he'll
Times
get
Square.
he'll get you in to cover it.
Cool. When is it?
It's for New Year's Eve, so you probably not want to go because nobody's going to go. Nobody wants to go to Times Square for New Year's Eve.
No, but he could cover it.
I could get you interviews with the people that are doing it.
This way you cover it. You know what I mean? Hey, we want to help each other, right?
Yes,
absolutely. So who are your,
especially now that we can't go anywhere?
Who are some of the favorite people that you've interviewed? Like I love that you know Sean Kanan because we're really good friends with him and his wife,
best buddy. I
and
love him.
and so who are some of the your favorite interviews of people that you've interviewed?
Stevie Nicks.
That's a big one.
Oh my God, Stevie Nicks, my daughter's favorite, my favorite. Stevie Nicks. Oh my Lord.
Actually, Lady Lake in the chat room. Cindy Lady Lake. Why is my thing not working?
I know,
City. That's her favorite, Stevie Nicks.
Oh, Stevie Nicks is a doll. She's a tiny little cute thing with that raspy little
That's an
voice.
awesome one. Stevie
But she's
Nicks.
very outspoken. Oh, my stomach shot. She's very outspoken. She's very outspoken, Stevie. She has.
So now, how did you meet her? Did you meet her at a concert, or how did that happen?
Over the phone for almost an hour.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did you
58 minutes and 10 seconds. It was the best interview ever.
Did you find her to be very outspoken?
No, it was just like you were in her presence. You were just she just kept going because I just prepared 10, 11 questions. I didn't expect to speak to her for so long, and they're like, "You have almost an hour." I'm like, "An hour?" I'm like, "How am I gonna make this work?" But it kept going, and I got a great cover story. So yeah.
I love that. I think that's terrific.
Well, she was angry at one time with people robbing her music.
Yeah.
All of the what do they call
Napster,
it?
all the Napster downloads.
LimeWire, Napster, all those. Yes.
Yeah.
I said to her, "Are you going to record?" She said, "No." She said, "Because I'm going to do live shows, because I don't make any money when I record. They steal all my music."
Exactly. I agree. Yeah.
She was pissed off about that at that time. This was years ago.
Everybody loves Stevie Nicks though, and the fact that
her music
her music is so freaking good. So that's a really good one. What about? I know you do sports people too. We don't actually.
I was going to say Caleb Dressel is my favorite sports interviewer.
I don't even know who that is. Tell us who that is.
Caleb Dressel. He won 5 golds in Tokyo this year at the Olympics.
We're gay.
Oh,
Gay
he's a
men
swimmer.
don't know sports.
We don't watch sports really.
Gay guys.
We do the actors and the musicians because we interview a ton of musicians.
We do all the sissy stuff.
Yes, but actually, that Olympic athletes, that's a big deal. Like so. What about actors? What's your favorite actor?
Christos Andrews.
Oh, he's cool. We see him all the time.
And coincidentally, he's Greek.
Yes.
That has nothing to do with it.
He's the star of Ron Moss's soap opera, The Bay. He's the star. He's got like 5. I don't know. He's probably
11
got more than-
Emmys. 11
Oh yeah, I
Emmy
was going to
awards.
say he had. I think when we had him on the show, he had 5 Emmys. But he's good friends with Sean Kanan, so we see him at all the same events. So
Right.
like we know him, but
Right.
we haven't had him on the show since. And it's so cool because he used to be a professional skateboarder,
Yes.
Right.
which I thought that was like really cool. And we're really good friends with Ron Moss and his wife, and they're like the
Love
Devin, I
producers.
love Devin.
Say that again.
I love Devin DeVasquez.
Yeah, she's fabulous.
Devin is wonderful. Ron Moss, his wife, when we're together, we sit down for hours and gossip and
love
talk.
Ron Moss.
I love Ron. Ron is a sweetie, gentle guy, a nice fella. They're good friends of ours. We like them a lot.
And you
Oh,
interviewed Steve Burton too, right? Like I
did.
actually wrote the forward. Sean Kanan has a book called Success Factor X, and I wrote
Yes,
the forward
yes.
to it.
Yes,
So
I love it.
I wrote the forward to it, and so we went to a book signing, and that's where I met Steve Burton and everything. And now I think didn't he got fired, right, from General Hospital,
Correct.
which is unfortunate
Why did he get fired?
because he wouldn't get a COVID. He didn't get the COVID vaccine. so
I
he got-
think that's such a communist fucking move. You really cannot force people to do things. If they don't want to do it, it's uncivilized.
they're getting rid of all kinds of people though. 2 people now they got.
I
rid
know
of.
that, but it's
Well,
un-American.
Rademacher.
We've lost our freedom with this new people that are in office. We've lost our freedom of press, our freedom of speech, and our freedom of choice.
So wait,
And
go
that
back.
to
Okay.
me is communism.
Go back to Natasha Bedingfield. Like, was she a good interview? Because like I've always been a big fan of her music. Like she's
Yeah, I
like
did
a
her
pop
backstage
artist.
at Jones Beach. She was lovely.
At where? At Jones Beach?
Yes, she was opening for Train, and I did her backstage at Jones Beach. It was fun.
So you pretty much get in to go everywhere, right? Like we always get in to go everywhere because of our
Everywhere.
show. You get in everywhere because of your journalistic prowess.
Yes, sir.
Which
We
is
get in
fun.
because we have 5 million people that are watching you right now. No, we go all over the world, and we have over 5 million viewers.
We just broke 1 billion downloads.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So that's why people say, "Oh, Ron's crazy. He's got a dirty mouth." But we'll go on that show. We'll take our chances.
So who's on who's like on a bucket list? Like who are some of the
Meanwhile,
people?
let me say something. You're a really handsome guy. You are a traditionally looking Greek man. You have all the face of Greece. You're totally Greek looking. I have some Greek in me also. We did the family
You
ancestry.
did the ancestry test? Nice.
Yes, my daughters did it, and we have. I don't know where it came from. I am a little English. Where the fuck that came from, I'll never know. But French. But we're from Genoa, so Genoa, at once parts of French was Italian. Good looking. Too bad he wasn't older. Fix him up with my kid. But anyway, yeah. So I have a little. They said I have Greek, and I also have from the island of Alba. Not.
He was friends with Michael Constantine from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, who died.
Oh, yeah.
Ron's friends with Laney Kazan.
Yeah, Laney's my buddy.
I love her.
She was devastated, Laney,
Yeah.
when he passed away. Laney's going to Greece, by the way, now
Yeah.
to film Greek Wedding 3.
Yes, she told me that. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, so you know Laney too.
very well. I know she's performing She was going to perform next year in May in Manhattan.
Yeah, well, she's going to be in the movie I wrote. I'm playing opposite her. She plays a Jewish bookie, and I play an Italian mafioso.
Oh, you're in that movie? Oh God.
No, this is a different movie. This is
That-
one that Ron wrote.
Yeah, it's called The Gift, The Gift of Magic. And I hope we're going to shoot it in the spring.
Cool.
I love it. So you think Sean Kanan's going to be on Cobra Kai?
Oh, definitely.
I think so
I
too.
think so too. And he's also going to be in my movie, The Gift of Magic. He plays my son.
Wow.
So it's going to be a good cast of all. You're going to write about it.
Have you seen
Right.
Studio City? Have you watched Studio City?
Yes, I've done most of the press for them. So yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay, that's terrific.
Now, Michelle is Italian,
Yes.
and she's got a sort of a wise guy background like I do. So it's so nice that when I'm back east and I'm with Italians and we eat, and I love it. California, everybody's Americana here. There's no such thing as ethnic
in the chat room,
traditions.
they're talking about how handsome you are.
Very
Please
handsome.
ask him about the framed award on the wall. I don't see a framed award. Is there a
Oh,
framed award?
The Brenda Lee gold plaque
Okay, tell us what they want to know what that
Lee.
is.
Nobody knows.
rocking
it.
around the Christmas tree
Oh, okay.
from
Oh,
Decca
that's funny.
Records, 1958, presented to Markos Papadatos in appreciation of your support for my music. Keep on rocking, Brenda Lee.
Oh, that's very cool.
I remember when that song came out.
So
Brenda,
the second, right behind Mariah Carey, is "All I Want for Christmas," the second most popular Christmas song of all time.
Oh, there you go. That's cool. So what does it mean? A 5-time Best of Long Island winner. Best of Long Island what? Like journalist?
Every year they have like a contest of Best of Long Island, and people vote for their favorite winners. And I've won 5 years in a row, and hopefully this year will be the sixth one.
I'm sure it will.
I think it will be too.
I swept all 4 categories last year. Let's see if history will repeat itself.
Are you living on Long Island now or in Manhattan?
Yes, Farmingdale. I'm in Farmingdale right now.
Oh,
in the
you're
house.
still in Farmingdale.
I love it. It's beautiful.
I miss Long Island. I can't wait to come home. I mean, we're going to be in New York in February, and I'm going to be on Long Island because my best friends, Teresa and John Vecchio, they live in Mount Sinai.
Nice.
And of course, Jimmy's partner, Eileen Shapiro, she lives in Medford. So we'll be traveling all over Long Island. Maybe we'll run into you. We'll go have a coffee. Wouldn't that be fun?
I love that.
So
us too.
So you guys can follow. You can follow Markos. He's at the Power Journalist. He has a really impressive Instagram because he has great people on it. And I love. So how did you come up with the name the Power Journalist? Because that's a great hashtag.
Well, because everybody started calling me that because I write my articles so quick and I'm efficient and I do 6 to 10 interviews a day. So like you're
how many?
6 to 10 interviews a day.
6 to 10 a day?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I do 4 and I'm fainting.
Oh, but I have to write them up right after. That's the hard part.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you don't want to ask the same questions over and over again. It's boring. You got to keep coming up with new stuff.
I divide my day between actors, singers, musicians, athletes, magicians. So it's like I never have the same thing. I never want to do the same thing.
I meant to ask you, how do you know Lainey?
Lainey, we spoke about her movie just now. Oh my God.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
The other one that just came out, the Jewish movie. Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Tango Shalom. Tango Shalom.
Yes.
Right.
Tango Shalom. Did you see it? Is it any good? We didn't watch it.
Very good. Very good with the mom from The Nanny. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Renee
Taylor. Ron's friends with her too.
She's a good friend of mine, Renee Taylor. I love her. Joe Bologna, her husband, was a saint.
He was great, yeah.
Oh, he was wonderful. He was one of the nicest people in the world.
In the chat room, they want to know who was your first celebrity?
Oh, a country singer named Chuck Wicks.
Which I don't actually know who that is. Okay.
That started it all for me. I'm like, okay, that was like for every yes, I would get a few no's, but then now it's the other way around.
Yeah, you don't get very many no's anymore, do you?
No, it's me declining out because I get so many pitches. Who to say no to every day?
Yeah,
who to say yes to every day because I get so many pitches.
That's like funny.
Well, there was a time when we had to ask. Now they ask us, and that's good because it saves a lot of work. Because if you're going to hunt them down, it takes time. It's better when their managers call us and say we would like to put so and so on. It's easier, and you have the same thing now. Now they're asking you to be on.
Before I'm even done with one, they have like 3 or 4 lined up for me because they know they're on in good hands.
That's the way to do it.
16,000 written interviews is a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a super lot. Like even if.
Now, are you in Newsday? Remember, they still have Newsday newspaper there?
No,
it's gone. Newsday.
They still have it, but
you don't.
He writes for Digital Journal.
I like my own.
What is? Wait, explain to us old bags. What is a digital? What is digital?
It's called
journal?
Digital Journal.
What is it?
Online news publication, and I do the entertainment, music, and sports for them.
Well, how do you get? You have to go on your computer to read it. Teach us how to do it.
Digitaljournal.com. That's the website, and you pick the section. It has like all these different sections: science, technology, environment, and I do the entertainment, music, and sports.
And you click. So everybody out there that's old and doesn't know how to work a computer, now you learned. And go on and listen and read what he writes. I'm sure it's interesting. I'm going to snoop and see if you're any good. How do you like that?
He's actually good.
And then when I see you in person, I'll tell you whether you're good or not.
I looked at all his stuff before I invited him on the show.
No, we could go to the Manhasset Diner because it's all owned by Greek, and they have and they have a good Greek menu.
So who's on your bucket list?
You go to the Manhasset Diner?
Tim Tebow.
Oh, really? Okay.
We have a date. When we come into New York, let's all meet at the Manhasset Diner. I love it there.
7 Seas, the 7 Seas one in Manhasset?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's on Old Country Road, is it? Or 25A? What road is it on?
Old Country Road, yes.
Old Country Road, yeah, sure. Definitely. We have a
So
date.
wait, why Tim Tebow?
I love this book, A Quarterback's Journey, and I love this. He's a man of character. He does so much. He's very humble, and what he does for the kids around the world, all these hospitals, he's just an inspiration.
Now, I detect a slight accent. How long are you here?
I lived in Greece in the 90s. That's why I got the Greek accent with me. So yeah.
But you were born in America.
Yes.
And then you went to live in Greece.
Yes.
So you picked. I lived in Italy for a year with my grandmother. They sent me to Italy because they found out I was gay. So they sent me to Italy to be cured because there are no gay people in Italy. I was 17 years old, and when I walked down the street, I had 7 men following me. So that's how I was being paid straight. Anyway, I came back, and I remember talking to my friends, and they'd say, "Oh, Ron, cut it out. Stop being a put on." I said, "What are you talking about?" They said, "Why are you speaking Italian?" I said, "Was I?" You forget. So I would be half in Italian. Like I'd say, "Andiamo over there. Let's go mangiare something." Did you do that?
Yeah, sometimes it would be half and half.
Yeah.
But I just love Greek. It's so phonetically beautiful. I could talk to.
Well, my sister learned Greek, and my sister spoke 5 languages because she worked for the airport years ago in the 1950s. She would announce all the flights coming in from different countries in that language, and my sister said that Greek was the most difficult to learn.
Yeah, because it has like ancient, like it's the hardest to write because you have like all these like accents.
Yeah.
And 6 different I's in the Greek language.
Mm-hmm. But she spoke it. Not my sister and my brother-in-law used to go to Greece a lot because they had family there. And my sister said, "I love going to Greece because I lose weight." I said, "Why do you lose weight?" She said, "All they eat is fish." Well,
Yeah.
they're from Rhodes, and that's all
Fish
water.
and Greek salad. Fish and Greek salad.
Yeah, I mean everything is water in Greece, so of course they're eating from the ocean.
Beautiful.
My sister and I do not like fish of any kind. So you miss Greece?
Yes, I do.
Would you like to live there?
Yes.
America's getting a little shabby. It's not quite so happy anymore being here.
When I
could
go
live-
there, there's no deadlines. What I do in half a day here, I do in a month in Greece. It's like they're like, you don't need your watch until you go back to New York.
Yes,
Right.
that's funny.
No,
deadline.
I could live in Italy. I told Jimmy I would love to live in Italy, but Jimmy won't. He's not Italian, but I have relatives there, cousins, and I love Italy, and especially where we come from. We come from Genoa, up in Portofino, Santa Margherita,
In the
Portofino.
chat room, they love Greek salad. They think you seem like such a nice guy. Very
Of course,
cool.
he's nice. He's Greek.
And so they want to know
Really, I've never no smoke up your ass and no bullshit because I don't do that. I mean, I lived in Astoria, Queens. Please, it's like Greece. All right,
Yeah.
So
Very
I grew up with Greeks, and I was in all more Greek houses, and my friends are Greek. Oh Jesus! There was my very good friend. His father owned the famous Greek store where you bought all Greek food.
Oh, Mediterranean or Titan? Titan Foods?
Wait a minute, I got to think of the name, the family name. You'd know it.
Teuton Foods.
I don't remember. This is years ago.
Mediterranean Foods.
And they owned it. I guess the father's dead or old like me now, but the son took over, and he was my friend. Oh, he'd be my age too.
Goddess is in the chat room. Say hi to Goddess.
Hey, Goddess, in and
Goddess.
out.
There you go.
Hey, Goddess, look at this cute guy.
So they want to know.
Wait, maybe we could fix Goddess up with this guy. Hey, Goddess, you still looking for a guy?
They want-
This one's cute.
In the chat room, they want to know, how do you prepare to do 6 to 10 interviews a day? What do you have to do to prepare for that?
You just go to work.
I just do. I look at the talking points, 30 seconds each. Boom. I
That's
I
it.
know what they're gonna tell me before they tell me these days because I know what everybody's promoting: a tour, a concert, a book, a CD. So I want to get within 5-10 minutes. I'm done. Boom. Next. I don't have
Okay.
time to. Yeah.
No,
Okay,
my job is easy. See, Jimmy does all the bragging and the political stuff. I do the snooping stuff. Are you married? Are you gay? Are you straight? You got kids? You're rich? Are you poor? Do you have a big dick or a small one? I mean, I ask those questions. That's why we're so famous. People love it. They love it. I had a very sexy, gorgeous guy on, an actor who is gay, and he lives here in Palm Springs. And we were interviewing him, and I said, listen, I said, you're a famous actor. You're gorgeous. I bet you can't cook. He runs off the camera. He comes back with cookbooks. He said, sorry, Ron, but I have 3 cookbooks out. I said, okay. But I said, I bet you have a small dick. And he said, no, I don't. And he stood up. I said, no. We can't do that. We'll get X-rated. I think he was going to whip it out. But anyway, No, we have a lot of fun on our show. It's nothing serious or nasty. It's just silly stuff. And I'm lucky I get away with that. But Jimmy does the intelligent stuff.
Cool.
Actually, they want to know. They want to know. Okay, so bucket list. Okay, so Tim Tebow. What about what musician and what actor have you not interviewed yet that you think, oh my God, I'd really love to interview? Maybe even do an actor and an actress.
Okay, I'm going to help you. What did you think of Melina Mercouri?
I loved her.
I loved her too. I loved her in Topkapi. Did you see the movie Topkapi?
Oh, we just saw that recently.
Yeah.
No,
Where
I saw her in Never on Sunday. Never on Sunday.
Well, yeah, but she also made a movie called Topkapi, and it was filmed in they were in a museum stealing a sword, and it was filmed in what country? Turkey. Filmed in Turkey. Melina Mercouri was a wonderful actress.
Oh, I also gotta send you kisses. She says you're cute.
I would love to someday talk to Cheyenne Jackson. Him I never did. Cheyenne Jackson.
Oh, okay, yes, that's a good one.
Because he does Broadway and everything, and he seems cool.
Yeah, he's a good one. He would be a cool one.
Who else?
And I want to tell everybody, Anthony Quinn is not Greek.
No,
Never
he's
was
Mexican.
Greek. He's
Nobody
Mexican.
Greek.
He's Mexican, but everybody thinks because he was Zorba that he was Greek. But he was not Greek. He was Mexican. Just a little tidbit you got to throw in there. I have all people. My fan mail is, Ron, I love when you talk about the movie stars and you let us in on certain things about them. And everybody does. Everybody wants to know about their movie star. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
Do you try to get that out of your stars when you interview them? A little tidbit, a little something that's juicy?
A little. But yeah, I'm the anti-TMZ journalist. I pride myself in that. That's why they're so comfortable with me.
Right. You would never write anything offensive or bad.
No.
And I would never ask anything embarrassing or bad. It's all fun. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, we don't do that either.
No, everybody wants to be on. We have a list. I mean, we could book next year. I mean, we have a lot of people. We select now because a lot of people want to come on, but unfortunately, they don't have the credits or the name yet that we could use. So we have to say no to a lot. It hurts me because I said to Jimmy, can't we put a few starter offers on? And he said, well, we've had, but they don't really work out well. They have to learn.
Deidre Hall would be cool. I never did her.
Oh, Deidre Hall would be a good one.
Deirdre Hall. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
You have a cool sensibility, though. It's very different. It's not like normal people. If you asked them, they would have, I don't know who they would say, but they wouldn't say Deirdre Hall. So I think that's very
so much
cool.
respect for soap actors because they do like 40 to 80 pages of script a day. It's the hardest working medium.
Yes. Oh no, absolutely. We talk about it all the time since we're friends with all the soapy. We call them the soapies.
Yeah.
And we're friends with all of them. So we talk about that all the time.
We're friends with Sherry Belafonte. And I think Sherry might be at the New Year's Eve party we're going to next week. And I'm going to ask her a question. I'm going to say, tell me about Joan Collins and your father, Harry Belafonte, having a great affair. And I wonder if Sherry's going to tell me anything. She may not. We'll see.
Actually, we just hung out with the guys from Dynasty, all the different people from Dynasty.
Yeah.
John James, and I forgot who they were.
But I want to know about Joan Collins and Harry Belafonte. That's an interesting romance I'd like to find out about. Sherry Belafonte, by the way, is a doll. She's a sweetie pie. She's the nicest girl in the world.
Who are because we have a lot. We live in the desert in Palm Springs. So Judah Chapman lives here. We're friends with Michael Damian. We're really good friends with, who's now like a big director.
We drop a lot of names because our fans like it. Not because we're showing.
But Tristan Rogers lives here. Sean Kanan has a house here. Who are the other soapies who live here?
They've all been to our parties at our house. Who else lives here?
Tristan.
My buddy? What's her name? The one that's on TV all the time. Oh, Jesus Christ. Old age. The blonde that's on Hogan's Hero all the time and Alfred Hitchcock. The old lady. She's
yeah.
She's gorgeous. She's still a beauty.
Actually, the same Barry introduced us to her to Ruta Lee.
Ruta
Lee.
I
love Ruta. Yeah.
I love Ruta. Ruta's fabulous. I know her for a long time. She was dear friends with Mr. Blackwell, who was my best buddy.
Debbie Reynolds. She was friends with Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie was a friend also. Yeah. Debbie was the last time I spoke to Debbie was Jane Russell was needing her church needed a roof. So Jane said to me, call Debbie and see if she'll be in on the benefit that I was putting together for Jane to get a roof for the church. So I called Debbie. She said, "Oh, Ron, I can't talk to you right now. My dog died." I said, "Oh, Debbie, I'm sorry." She said, "Call me tomorrow, honey." I said, "I will." I called her the next day. She said, "Oh, Ron, I can't talk to you. My daughter's outside in the car. We have to go pick out a coffin for my dog." And then that was the last thing I heard from Debbie. She was nice. I was in a car one time with Debbie Reynolds and Joan Rivers. And if I had $1 for every fuck they said, I could have bought a limo. Those two broads had mouths like sailors. They went at it. I said, "Girls, this should be on film. This is the most fabulous comedy I have never in my life." I almost peed myself. I did. I didn't stop laughing. You know when your jaws hurt when you laugh?
Yeah.
That's what I had, pain in my jaws. These two broads didn't stop. I had to get out of the car. They were wonderful. I love both of them. I love Joan Rivers, and I love Joan Rivers. I knew from New York, from the gay pride drag balls we used to go to.
Oh shit, Chuck's here. Let's bring Chuck in to go with Markos real quick because we've only got 2 minutes. I don't know if it'll actually help. Chuck, you're like late. We got 2 minutes and we're over.
I'm late. If I actually had a brain, I thought it was on at 5, so I apologize.
So
Go.
So real quick, you got 2 minutes. Tell us what's going on. Say hi to Markos.
Markos, nice to meet you. Hello. So I hope you can join us, Markos. We're going to have a virtual New Year's Eve party. It kicks off with the folks from the One Times Square building, which is the home of the ball. We're doing 18-hour broadcast featuring a lot of amazing artists, including April Rose, Gabriella, Kulik, all the way to Tony Orlando, who actually helped produce the first Wonderama record back in 1969. And we start at 6 a.m. East Coast time in New Zealand. And we go all the way around the world to New York City, where we drop the ball at midnight. And it's at vnye.com, which is virtual New Year's Eve. And it's all about just trying to celebrate in a way that everybody can participate. So no matter where you are in the world, you get the best seat in the house at Times Square for the ball drop.
There you go. And you guys, it's hosted by David Osmond, Tony Orlando, Bootsy Collins, Jessica Lynn, Randy Edelman, Marie Osmond, Lainey Kazan, Winston
and
Marsalis.
Randy Edelman's got an amazing performance that he's going to do for us. And he's just not only a world-class performer, but a world-class guy. We're so excited to have it happen.
Did you know April Rose Gabrielli is my cousin?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That explains why she's so good looking.
Let me tell you something, not because she's my cousin, but she's a hell of a talent. Can that girl sing and entertain? I love her. She's
a great human being. She was the one person this past summer we're recording where everybody came out of the tent in Times Square and said, "That gal's great."
She's phenomenal.
Good genes there.
Yes, Roxy, that's correct.
Everyone, you should watch this show. It's going to be a celebrity star fest.
You guys go to vnye.com. You can see it on the app. They have an app where you can go live onto the website, right, to see it, Chuck?
That's right. You can go to the website, or there's actually an app for your phone, and you can pick it up anywhere in the world. And it should be a lot of fun, and it's family friendly, and it's all about let's all get together and celebrate in a safe way.
There you go.
So if you're home sitting alone, feeling sad and lonely, watch this show. Be a part of their party. Trust me.
You'll love it.
I never lie.
And a lot of the people on it have been guests on our show, so it'll a lot of be fun. And we got to go because we're out of time.
You have Lainey Kazan performing?
We do. We have Lainey. I don't know if she'll be performing, but she's a friend of the show.
She's a dear friend of mine. Send her my love.
I will. And again, thank you guys for. I'm like the guest that never shows. So
we have a few of those.
Matt Damon. You can always just Chuck was going to join us, but forget it.
So Markos, thank you so much for coming on the show. Chuck, thanks so much for at least we got it in there at the last. And we want to thank everybody and tell everybody to have a happy New Year. We'll see you in 2022.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Can turn out to be so wrong. Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes, download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.